That's like the size of my nipple when I was breastfeeding, I feel like.
Oh, yeah.
You have to put half of this in the baby's mouth. Like you don't just put that part in the baby's mouth. You gotta put this whole thing, you gotta
squeeze it. Perfect.
So what do your nipples look like now?
Well, if I was gonna make a selection, I would have to say, I feel like my nipple looks something like this at this point.
To all your moms out there, you doing it right.
Hi, I'm Kristen Bell.
Hi, I'm Katie Lowes.
And together we have 4 children.
4.
That we know of.
This is my, nipple.
But do they ever feel like this?
Currently.
When they feel like sharp and hot and crusty?
Something's hot and crusty and something's very wrong.
Do you still have a clot right now?
Yeah, I have a clog right now. And I haven't had one in months. It's like my boobs knew I was gonna see you today. And then I have told so many women I know, they were like, listen, if you really get up freak, you just have to ask your significant other to nurse you.
Oh, Kristen, oh my
So I said to my husband, I said, I'm gonna need you to suck this out. We could talk about it, we could be weird about it, or you could just go ahead and nurse, right?
Did he?
Yes.
And did it work?
Yeah, he pulled it out. He had
an incredible latch.
He had a cup next to him. Ugh. He was pulling out and spitting into this cup. And I've never been more in love in my life.
And he spits, he doesn't swallow.
Yeah, he spits, he doesn't swallow. That's what I figured out. It works.
And it works. I've asked my husband, and to be honest with you guys, Adam has never had to nurse out a clog, but he's said numerous times I would do it.
Because that's my boy right there. Do you need to pump?
Please. Oh, you're a dream. I think this is very weird. I've had very few clogs this entire breastfeeding experience of the 7 months. I have a 7-month-old right now. And I think because I saw you today.
Am I like a clog witch? Because remember, I got 3 mastitises.
Okay, so for anyone who doesn't know, this is a hand pump.
You're a beast to use a hand pump. I popped the beeper thing. I just wore the sports bra and I just did the dishes.
But also what you're supposed to use when you have a clog is, can someone find that vibrator? Thanks.
You're supposed to use a vibrator?
This is not a vibrator, but good Lord, it looks like one. Okay, for all intents and purposes,
It looks like a great vibrator. So wait.
So you just push down and it vibrates and you push it down.
Go for it.
But see, I obviously feel really calm with you because it's already letting down.
And do you love a letdown feeling?
Oh, it's the best. I'm sad it's gonna be over. It's like your whole boob gets lightning.
But it also feels
really good.
It's like,
what's the face?
Oh. Yes.
Yeah, a little bit.
I feel like we should show each other our boobs.
Literally would love nothing more.
Okay, everyone else can look away.
Bye.
Bye.
You have great breastfeeding nipples.
Thanks. Yeah,
that's why you were really good.
Ready
Okay,
for
so what
some
makes a
sucking.
great breastfeeding nipple is that they look like bottle tops. Do you know what I mean?
100%.
So my nipples are inverted, which is a absolute nightmare.
That's tough for the baby because they're like
They have to suck and pull it out, which
Yeah.
is the most painful thing. It was worse than childbirth by a lot.
Show me how you're manually expressing.
I don't know how to manually express.
Oh my God, girl, I manually express everywhere.
You do?
Oh, I hit my friends across the room.
But how do you do?
Well, you stand over the sink and you just, and you do that.
My therapist was like one of my first calls after I came home and had my baby because I was like, I'm so woke to postpartum as a thing. She was like, are you having thoughts of suicide? No. Are you having thoughts of when he cries, you don't want to get up and feed him? And I'm like, no.
I'm already prone to anxiety and depression. I left myself notes on my mirror. This is temporary. You were experiencing postpartum. I was like, be prepared. Take the steps that's gonna get you the best solution, that's gonna make you the healthiest. Did you have postpartum again with your second kid?
I should have been on high alert that if you've had it before, it can be worse with the second.
Okay, well that's a good thing to write down.
Yes, and postpartum depression after my daughter, I got Kristen brought to my knees. Horrible, very, very scary, textbook, suicidal thoughts, terrible thoughts about my children. Now I have a mom podcast called Katie's Crib, and I had so many guests on the show who had struggled with postpartum depression. I had done my due diligence of people I know, and even still, I was like, it's not me. I don't have it. If we're looking at week 6 and you're uncontrollably crying, this is not.
Check in with someone who knows how to help
Check in, something's happening. Let's talk to a psychologist and just see. She, at the end of the 3 hours, was like, oh no, honey, you have very, very severe postpartum depression. And I was like, what? No, I don't. Not true. She called, she was like, I really am suggesting medication. I'd never been on medication in my life, and even still, every stigma that you hear about, it's not for me. I've always been stable. I can't believe I have these double standards where it's like, medication's fine for everybody else, but for me,
My mother explained this to me so clearly when I was younger. She was like, I'm a nurse, and if you ever need to take a medication for anything that feels shameful, put it in this framework. Would you deny a diabetic their insulin? Would you tell them, just digest sugar already? No, you would never say that.
I would never say that. So, the prescription for Zoloft was literally waiting at the pharmacy, and even still, I was like, nope, no, I'm fine. As panic attacks were rolling in, more, like every time my daughter's crying and I have to go breastfeed her, I don't want to go. And then I woke up and I started to have some really negative thoughts about my son, my toddler, because he's a toddler and he's difficult. I don't want to do this, I don't want to be here anymore. And then I was like, hello, yes, is this Walgreens? Great, 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 I'll be there in 5 minutes.
Yeah.
So showed up, started my medication journey, and I have to say thank God for science, friends, support systems, my doctors, like everything, because everything everyone said was true, which was once you get on it and stabilize, like you will feel like myself. I felt like a great parent. I felt like I could be there for my husband. Also, this was all during a pandemic where I was super isolated, and it was just hard.
Yeah,
it was
that's
really hard.
heavy. We need to create in this country something for women experiencing postpartum, because part of the major thing of postpartum is isolation. Figure out a way where we can help these mamas. We've got to. Do you swear in front of your kids?
I think I would have had a better shot of not swearing in front of my children pre-pandemic. I have cursed by accident a ton of times.
Yeah.
And so has my husband. And what we sort of do is like, those are adult grown-up words, you cannot say them.
Does he fight back?
He does not fight back, but he does them for comedy.
Kind of a good bit.
Oh yeah. He says the other day to me, you f***ing d-. And I was like, that sounds a lot like your father. So we're in trouble. Like, I think we're failing as parents. I'm not exactly sure what's gonna happen.
Let me tell you something. Those are sounds that come out of your mouth hole. We, as humans, have attached this weight to who you are and how I can judge you based on that. And I'm like, get over it.
Because I used to think when you were a parent, you were supposed to know everything, or you were supposed to have the best answer in the moment, and it's just not possible.
I think every mom that gets up in the morning is doing great, because it's impossible to be a perfect parent. You shouldn't even strive for it. You should only be striving to be better than you were yesterday.
I think that's really good advice.
Otherwise, you're twisting your whole brain up like into a pretzel. Ooh, speaking of pretzels. I really want a pretzel right now. Can I invite your husband in here? One of my favorite people in the world to join us.
Please invite him in
and give us some delicious pretzels. Adam!
Hi, guys. How's everybody's boobs doing?
Pretty good.
By the way, I definitely said in the car.
That's why.
Yeah.
That's
So
a great
that's why
opportunity to tell him, like, I was making a joke. Sometimes adults use swear word in
Yes.
jokes. I like to look at my relationships with my kids exactly like my relationship with my husband, where I'm doing my best at that moment, but if I need to amend something, I can go back in and amend it.
That's right.
This whole talk was just an excuse for me to get these pretzels. I just want to say here's to all the moms out there who need a timeout, okay? Who can cheers our pretzels, who cheers your milk.
Yep.
Cheers.
Cheers,
Love
guys.
it.
To all the moms. Thank you guys for what, thank you. For all
he's
the
so
feeding
sweet.
and everything.
Can someone call Dax and tell him it's gonna be a little bit later? Or invite him?